So how exciting. And yes, it looks like we are live. We had a couple of tech issues just jumping on, but it looks like they have been resolved, hopefully. I've got green ticks. So if you are watching, please say hello. Oh, yes. Hang on.
Hello, I'm watching.
You are excellent. Okay, so good morning and hello to everyone wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I am delighted to once again have a uplifting conversation this week with our lovely Jess Miller, who is just as passionate about our beautiful essential oils as I am, as you can see from if you are on one of our video, if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, or if you can see the live, you will see that behind Jess, she has a lovely shelf full of oils, and not just oils, full of crystals as well, because, and I'll let you explain a little bit about that in a minute, but this week we are talking about regenerating ourselves and talking about the importance of release. So good morning, Jess, and welcome to this week's show. Highly delighted to have you on here again. And would you like to tell people why you love oils and crystals as well?
I just love them so much because they've really helped me. They've helped me to transform my life so that I'm more able to self-care for myself. Like actually, I was very unhealthy. I was sick. I had no motivation for anything, and I saw Kay, and I was at that point of what can I try? I don't want to go mainstream. I've always grown lots and lots of herbs. I've always had herbal teas and tinctures and all that sort of stuff, and I just needed something. Well, basically, I was really needing um stronger stuff like actual medical grade, not just something I grow in the garden and make a tea. I needed something a lot stronger because my health was just really bad. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try these. I really liked Kay. I really liked what she was saying, like, because you just true blue, like and I'm like, okay, this woman seems really legitimate. I'm going to give her a go, and I'm going to try these oils. Well, not you a go because wasn't rubbing you on myself. It's like that would have been a bit weird from
You
like up
could rub
here.
some oils onto me next week, though.
I know, I can't wait. I can't
Yeah.
wait. Anyway, the oily conference,
Yeah.
it's my first. I'm already, yeah. Anyway, pull it in, Jessie, because I just get very, very, I get very excited and passionate. When I find something that works for me, I get very excited and passionate, and I want to share that with people because a lot of people say that the oils are really quite expensive, and they might get them from other places. Well, I did get them from other places and they didn't do anything, which almost gave up my quest of, well, I've tried that before. I've tried aromatherapy before and it hasn't worked. But listening to Kay, there was something in her voice that just grabbed me, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go down this path. So I got my first lot of oils, and oh my goodness me, the opening them up and smelling them was just incredible. But then seeing how, especially the frankincense, like I'm a huge, huge frankincense lover, and just seeing how that was helping with my brain fog, and helping me to get some clarity. And then it started like I started feeling more spiritual. I started doing more self-care. I started thinking, you know, wow. And and then it was like, wow, what's different? Because I was actually progressing and feeling a bit better and not feeling like, oh my goodness, am I going to like today, as they have to say these days, unalive. I felt like I was going to be unalive.
Mm-hmm.
That's, you know, um, that's how sick I felt. Like I was so sick. Every day I thought, is this going to be my last? Because of my
Wow.
head fog. Like it was serious. I was at the point where, and I lived like that for a couple of years, where I just didn't know. My heart was doing silly things. My head was doing silly things. I kept getting told I had anxiety and panic attacks, and I'm like, no, this is something else. And so to reach a point where I actually had a day where it was like I didn't have a moment where I thought, I feel like I need to go to the doctor, which I had done, and they just said, you're all fine and everything's fine with you. And, like you just got anxiety and panic attacks. And I'm like, no, there is something wrong with my body, because I wake up at like 2 o'clock in the morning with boom, like the biggest, like my heart would just be like, and I would hear it in my head. So I'd like sit, and I couldn't go back to sleep because my heart was beating too fast for me to go to sleep. So I'm like, is it my
Yeah.
heart? Is it,
That's,
it was really. And then I got diagnosed as having vestibular migraines, which do all that sort of stuff. Like you get very dizzy, like it's like an imbalance in your head. And I felt like I had a tumor or something. Like it was really horrible. And to go and have no, oh, well, here, try this, except for go on to the antis, which I didn't want to do, because I'm like, no, I'm not depressed and I'm not anxious. Just that this thing's happening to me that I don't know what it is. So when I researched that lavender and lemon and like the oils, like, 'cause I was like, what oils help with this when I got diagnosed? But the oils had already been helping me with what I'd been with what was in the pack. It was enough to get me to another platform to sort of like lift me up.
yes.
And so then when I researched more on brain fog and what oils, and having conversations with Kay about different aspects of my health, because my skin integrity was, my whole body was just breaking down really.
Mm.
Um, and then when I started using those, because frankincense is also good for the vestibular too. So, and I was putting it behind here because I was having like really, really bad tinnitus, where I had to suck my thumb to go to sleep for 2 years because the tinnitus was just. So the frankincense really helped with that too. So the oils that I was using out of that pack gave me enough to then, oh, these are working. What else can I use? What's good for them? And hence why I feel like I've nearly got, I've got my little clouds of support for any ailment that I have. And there's
Mm.
still more oils that I want.
And I love your story. And I actually didn't realize that you were in that much trouble when I did meet
Mhm,
you. So I
mhm,
didn't realize that. That must have sounds like it was really scary.
mhm,
And I just want to congratulate you, because a lot of people, they listen, they get excited, and then they might use a couple of things, and these major miracles didn't happen, or people say, oh, forget to use them. But whereas you've taken the ball and basically run with it, and now you're reaping the rewards. So it is such a delight to learn about that. And Jess and I are going to be meeting up in person on the Gold Coast in a
right,
little over
so
a week,
excited.
and we are so
18th,
excited.
18th or something? I think it's 18th.
Yes, that's right. And we have a Young Living convention coming up on the Gold Coast. So there are still tickets if anyone's watching and you have not booked your ticket, or you'd like to join us there, reach out. Or the other thing is that we will be staying on the Gold Coast next week, and I think it will be the evening of the 18th. I'm going to send out an invite to anyone who'd like to come and visit us in our cabin up there. So if that appeals to you, give us a hoy and we can organise something. So,
Do a little
and
healing
Shazza,
maybe. Come and oil
pardon?
up with us. Come and oil up with us.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So Shazza is saying congratulations. Um, and Kim Jade saying, well done, Jess. Beautiful. So thanks for commenting, Kim. And Natalie, hello. We've got Natalie all the way from the USA. Now, Shazza, Love Light Healing with Shazza Rowland, has asked, what oil would you feel for me as I've got the flu? And that is a really, really good question.
Mhm.
So if I come down with succumb to something, or in actual fact, if I want to avoid succumbing to those things, like particularly when I'm traveling, I will take my inner defense capsules. And that's full of oregano, really high, powerful, fantastic oils that are going to help support your natural, healthy immune system. So also, if I feel like I'm coming down with the flu, I will take 2 of those every couple of hours. And I love feeling the beautiful effects of how my body responds to these wonderful supplements. Now, all our supplements with Young Living are infused with essential oils so that they get absorbed into our body at 30% higher rate. Now, Gary Young discovered that adding essential oils in with your supplements supports your body, or it makes them more absorbable, so your body can actually utilize what's in the supplements. Now, all our Young Living supplements and oils, they're all organic, they're sourced sustainably. So any conversation we're having here today is around Young Living, and that is because Jess and I have done our research, and we've walked our talk, we've done our research, and we know the value of these oils, and we know all around about the vibrations of them, which are second to none. They're just the most beautiful vibrations, which are in alignment with our body, our healthy body, and they support our healthy body. So, Shazza, I don't know,
because there's still so much more to learn. You know, like you think you know, and you just know a little tiny little drop of oil in the little oily ocean. But this morning I actually woke up with a sore throat, and I was feeling a little bit, and I had a little bit more mucus. So to answer what I did for me this morning, I did some pine oil, because I know that the Rona doesn't like pine. So pine, and I put pine in my my diffuser. I also put a little bit of frankincense on, because that just is a
if in
everyday
doubt, get your
anyway.
frankincense
Your
out.
frankincense out, like, it's just so good. Eucalyptus globius I used, and I think radiata would work just as good. I also copaiba, because that helps everything all just sing. It's sort of like, puts in that little high note. I also had some Idaho Grand Fir, because that's good for little tickles and a bit of inflammation, and it just smells good anyway. So that's what I did this morning. And you could use aroma signs.
Yes, some nice powerful oils in there. So, Shazza, I would be looking at RC as a chest rub, or in your diffuser. It's full of amazing oils like eucalyptus, myrtle, I can't remember what else, but lots and lots of really good oils, fantastic for the chest, and great in the diffuser for helping to clear the airways. Oregano oil, Kim Jade, you're asking, do we produce oregano oil? Yes, we do. Fantastic. Oregano oil is a really, really powerful oil. And there's a few different types of oregano in the capsules I was talking about, Kim. We've got hello from Gladstone. I'm not sure who you are. Let me know, because I can't see your name, but welcome. And hello, Suzanne Humphreys from Mona Vale. Thank you for joining.
Hi, Robin. It's Robin White from Gladstone. Robin White.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Hi, Robin from Gladstone.
Hey, Robin. So thanks for joining us, and we would really love you to share this out, so that because we are passionate about getting this message out into the world. So if you feel inclined to share, would you like to do that for us, please? So back to you, Shazza. I would be taking my Ningxia Red drinks. So that high antioxidant, high vitamin C, lots and lots of nutrition. Lemon oil, orange oil, just about any oil. But Shazza, if you would like more information, let's have a little chat after this, if you would be interested in, me helping you out with that. There are so many things. I know what I really like, and I don't have one right here, but the Breathe Again roll on. I have that on hand all the time. Absolutely fantastic. And I remember the very first time I used it, I rolled it down my sinuses, and you get clogged up all down here and your ears fill up. So I roll it all around my ears and all down here. And the very first time I used it, I did that, and instantly I wanted to expel the mucus that was hanging in my body. So these oils have a beautiful effect on us. And even, the old eucalyptus in a cup, make a hot drink, put your oils in a cup and, towel over your head. Or I don't even need a towel with Young Living because these oils are so powerful. So, but you can use something to just breathe in that way. Now, Jess and I are going to have a bit of a talk to you about releasing and the importance of releasing old beliefs, old patterns, or emotional turmoil that is going on. So, because we know so much, we know more and more these days how important it is to address any of our old unwanted emotions because they play havoc on our well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And also last week I talked to Bridget around the astrology for the month, and there was a lot of emotional or a lot of release conversation around that. And we've had the eclipse, and we have another one towards the end of the month. So it's a big month this month in
And
May.
Mercury's in retrograde as well, which
Yes.
means, and it's a time to set your intentions for when, and just do a little bit of planning of what goes in place for when Mercury goes out of retrograde, because what you put in now, and that's not actually take action now, but put the things in place, because when Mercury goes out of retrograde, it's just gonna be like everything you've sort of like put into planning stage is going to come into fruition. But the releasing is really important, because if you don't release, you go into a new phase with the old habits still there.
And
With
then
the old
then when you do that, it's like you're backpedaling, or it's like it actually gives you these sabotage programs. And so um, when you release old things, it makes room for new things to come in. Now, I've read a book, actually, in this book, where is it? Sitting here, it's under my laptop actually, Releasing Emotions with Essential Oils by Carolyn Main. And she talks about studies that have been done in a university around um, trauma and old patterns, old beliefs, and us changing. And they've done studies that shows that smell is the highest, most actually way.
I'm kind of frozen on my end, Kay. But that's true. That's really interesting, because that really sounds true, because we smell things and it reminds us, and the DNA in our actual body um, has memory, like I believe, so our body actually, and our DNA holds memory, and we need to, like releasing. So what I do is, when something is triggering me, now, like, and I didn't used to, when I was triggered, I used to just go straight into like the trauma response and rah. And now when things are triggering me, I actually look into why they trigger me, and the oils will help me to find that trigger. So release will help with that. I actually don't have any release, but I just use frankincense for everything. No, and other oils, and I use gratitude and awaken and grounding. Like when I'm feeling really, I'll use grounding, which helps to keep me grounded. When I want to be around people, which I'm not usually a people person, I'll use gathering, so that I gather the people that I need to have around me to help sustain me through what I'm going through. And I just go on this little journey of, why am I triggered? Why has this triggered me? because I don't want to keep getting triggered for the rest of my life. I want to release these triggers so that I can actually go forth with a bigger stride and actually live a better life, because I'm not going to be triggered by someone who says something that my mum used to say to me when I was, and sometimes you don't even realize what that is, but just the intention of trying to follow that and going, okay, well, I don't want to be triggered anymore. I want to release that will actually help, because I mean, we can't remember every single little thing that happened to us. You know, like my sister's probably triggered by us calling her witchy poo when, you know, we were kids.
And she doesn't want to be a witch anymore.
No, well, she pretty much is, but, you know, but I'm just saying there might be something that we don't even realize has triggered us, and you don't exactly have to get to that exact thing, but just the fact that
Exactly.
you want to clear it and you don't want to be triggered by that. And now I'm finding when things happen that I used to be triggered by, and sort of like, and I'm like, wow, I
Absolutely.
wasn't actually
Do
triggered
you?
by that anymore.
I know. I remember. I know exactly how you feel, and I remember a few years ago. Well, quite a few years ago now, when I was not in the situation I'm in these days, I was with somebody who said something, and it was really aggressive and potentially really triggering. And I can't even remember now what was said, but I remember my response to my amazement was cool, calm, and collected. The trigger was not there, like the hook had gone. And I responded, and I felt like I was actually outside of my body. And it was really empowering. And I just went, yes, I've got to that point where I'm not attached to this stimulus. And my recommendation for anyone who is triggered by these things, if you haven't got release, you could use your Valor. So your Valor is that beautiful oil for balance and for just bringing everything into a state of calm. Now, I just put a drop on my wrist, I activate it, smell it, and just move it through my aura and energy field. And then I will just sit like this with my Valor. And I'm just going to do that quietly. So if you've got some Valor, go and grab it. And this is
I'm
called a
actually
Valor
going to
balance, and it
use
brings us back into balance.
acceptance, because that too,
Acceptance, yes. Yes, you could use
accepting
acceptance as
things
well.
that you can't. And also, like people who haven't heard before, like I've tried. I when I first got Valor, I didn't gel with it, but in times where I knew it was needed, I would still use it. No, but I would mask it. I'd use other oils that I did, like geranium. I'd use geranium with it, and I'd use a little bit
Okay.
of, like, you know, like peppermint, which is like a very strong smell, to sort of like mask the smell of the Valor. And then one day I went to give it to my partner and going, oh, I think you need this. And but I don't really like the smell. And I opened it up and I was just like, oh my goodness me. Oh, and, you know, and then I started putting it on me, and something had
Mm,
shifted in
mm,
me, which I think because, and I think that had been a year, like a year from using the Valor. So it wasn't even like a month, it was like a whole year of,
mm.
yeah, okay. And then because I think that my body, because I was so down and depleted when I started using the oils, my body was not ready to release, because your body knows when it's ready to, you know, actually, like it was always like, I accept you now. Oh my God, I love you. And I think that my body was strong enough to actually start releasing things. So I was ready to empower the Valor to its potential, which I thought was really, really interesting. That, you know, like, and it was when I was mentally a lot stronger, that I could actually accept the full potential of the oil. Oh, that has rose in it. I can
Absolutely.
smell. Oh, that's really
Rose,
nice.
or don't I just picked something
Rose
up in
is
my
the
bathroom
highest
this morning.
vibrational oil. I'm yet to get a bottle of rose. That
Well,
is
no,
my
ooh, your goal. Save up your free
mm,
points. You can get it with your free points these days, which is
mhm,
total bonus.
mhm.
And I've just posted, sorry for the glitching. Please be patient with us because we're having trouble with the connection. And someone says, haha, I used to get called witchy poo and I loved it. It never triggered any emotions. Well, good on you. You wanted to be a witchy poo. I guess it might depend also on the tone that the message was delivered, or at the time the moment the message was delivered, or something like that. So that is what I love about these oils too, Jess. As you say, if you haven't got release yet because you're still building up your supply. But Gary always said to us, if you haven't got what you want, use what you've got with intention. And that is always what we like to think about with these oils, with intention. So we know these days that our thoughts create outcomes, and our thoughts are what drives us or leads us. It's a way of it's a way of moving forward. And I know that if I want to manifest something, or if I want change, I start using affirmations and intentions as if that change has already happened, because we need to make sure that our brain is in alignment with what it is we want. And so I usually go for the I am whatever it is. I am living with my highest potential. I am attracting nice people to me. I am in a loving, supportive community. These are the types of I am statements that I will work with, depending on whatever it is that I'm emotionally that I'm working on. So, old beliefs. Have you got any old beliefs that you've been changing, or can you think of something? For me, it was one of them that I've reversed and transmuted is the lack of things. Or, I used to think that you didn't really need to have money to be happy. Well, in a sense, you don't. However, I realized that held me in tightly in poverty consciousness. And I didn't think, because I used to be worried about, too many people abusing the earth. And I still worry about all those things, or concerned about it. But I also have since realized that when we do have financial abundance, it gives us choices, and it gives us the ability to do things for others. It means I can gift things, or, if I'm financially secure, I'm not desperately looking after just me. And for me, it was me and my 4 children. But it just means that when you actually, I love what Mary Young says, and her saying is, money in the hands of good people does good things, can do good things. Now, that has become something that I believe in as well. And that is one of the things that's helped me turn my life around to attract more abundance. And it's not just financial abundance. It's abundance in, well, for me, in our Young Living community. I mean, I sent an email this morning out to all our beautiful people, and my heart was just full of gratitude. And, instantly one of the lovely ladies in our community opened it up, must have read it, and sent me actually I got 2 emails back from that within a short amount of time, with gratitude and appreciation coming towards me. And that was just really beautiful. 1, it takes you quite a long time to write these emails. 2, who's going to listen? And some people unsubscribe, and I go, that's fine. They're not, they don't resonate with what I've got to share. So that's fine too. Whereas in the past, I might have gone, oh, someone's unsubscribed, poor me, or I might have done the old martyr. Look at all the work I put in, and I'm not appreciated. So when you are living with an abundant mindset and gratitude, things do come your way.
Gratitude is really, really important, even for like the little things, like, a little bit of gratitude. It just like lifts your whole spirit. Even if it's just gratitude for, smelling the oils, like, gratitude for when you walk outside and you feel the sun on your face, gratitude for the rain watering the garden. Little bits of gratitude, actually, the gratitude starts flowing for more and more and more. Like it's almost like you create this little gratitude generator, and then you start realizing actually just how good life is. Just those small bits.
Exactly. Even if it is, hey, I've got a roof above, yeah, a
Mhm,
roof above my head, or a bed to be in,
mhm.
or a friend I can reach out to, or hey, I've woken up and I'm still breathing. The sun is out, or yes, it's cold, but I can just turn the heater on. Whatever it is, it is. When we get into these negative spirals, and sometimes I've got to catch myself. It doesn't mean that I'm all over it and I'm totally
Mm.
100% fantastic all the time, but at least I do know that when I see those signs, and they'll be less and less and less as time goes on, but if I see or recognize those signs of, the poor me syndrome, or what about me, or whatever my programs have been on, um, in my mind, the more I work with empowering myself, the better life gets, and the
Mm.
less those things worry me, because what do we say? Where your attention goes, energy flows. And that's why I love, like, these like, if you're feeling down and out, you can get a drop of joy. That's what you just smelt it. I know it was acceptance. Now there's some rose
Acceptance.
oil in this.
Mhm.
Now, having rose oil in any blend raises the vibrations, and it just, this joy was my favorite go-to, because it used to be in the first bundle that we purchased. So everybody got a bottle of joy in the first bundle, and it was just fantastic. And for me, I know that it really lifted me up, raised my vibrations, and it's a great perfume.
Mm.
So on that note, to have a healthy lifestyle, we do need to make sure that we are moving out of the world where we have hormone disrupting things in our house. Now,
Mhm.
some of those could be, um, shampoo you're using, conditioner, face creams, makeup,
Dish
floor cleaner,
detergent, washing detergent,
yeah, dishwashing liquid, whatever we're washing our clothes with.
fly
So many
spray.
things. Yeah, fly sprays, yes, all that. So Young Living gives us so many other options, so that you can start eliminating these things out of your home. Now, what happens is, when you have these synthetic fragrances, anything that has the word fragrance on it is potentially synthetically derived, or not a pure essential oil. Now, if they're not a pure essential oil, what are we putting on our body? Synthetics, adulterated oils. They mightn't be organic. They might have pesticides, chemicals on them in the growing process, or they might even be oils that are distilled really quickly, so you haven't got all those beautiful therapeutic constituents in it. Because an essential oil is very, very similar in chemistry to our blood. Now, I think, isn't it great that Creator made these beautiful things called plants that we can utilize for our health and wellness? And it just stands to reason. I mean, we love eating veggies, and we know that, before we had pharmaceuticals, people of the olden times, or people in days gone by, reached out to nature for their
Mm.
therapeutic support, or their healthy tools, whatever you would like to call them.
And we're really
And
quite sort of healthy, really. You look at all the morbidities now,
mhm,
all the different, the sensory issues, and like the nutrition that's not in your foods anymore because of how it's been growing, and it's terrible.
mhm,
The whole
exactly.
health, the whole health of things, like, but if when you can get something that like that, like I get the question, why young living? They're expensive. Why them? I've got this, I've got that. And it's because of the integrity. They're a therapeutic grade. So and because the plant's been picked at the right time, the plant's been treated. Like, I've been watching a few videos, like, on frankincense and how they get the frankincense, and it's been done with thought of the environment around as well. It's not just like let's farm all this, and it's been done like is it sheep that are running around the lavender fields? That's their natural, like keeping the grass down and everything, and they're fertilizing. Like, I think that's absolutely amazing that they've got animal stock in to do weed control and for natural fertilizers. Like, that's amazing. Now you're frozen again, Kay. I don't know if I'm frozen for you, or if this is like turned into the Jess and Kay show. I don't know. That's a bit awkward, but it's really important. Like the self-care, I find in winter too. I don't actually self-care for myself as much because I'm cold and I get a bit more achy in winter. So I'm really looking forward to going through this winter being sustained by the oils that are under me, because that's I feel like this winter is going to be better than other winters. I found wintergreen, which is really good for my aches and pains in my bones. I find that's really good for sore spots, but yeah, don't rub it in your eye or anything like that, because that's not really nice to rub it in your eye. Um, yeah, I don't know. Hey, Kay, are you there still, darling? Oh, thanks, Robin. Use abundance sweet almond oil as a perfume, or switch it with white angelica. I love that one too, white angelica. Um, there's like two of you now, Kay. That was a bit weird.
No, someone said you're still. My internet is going spinning round and round, so they bumped me out and I've jumped back in. But someone said, "Jess, you are still okay." So
Well,
all I could see was a spinning wheel.
Oh, goodness me. No, well, I was talking about like winter. It's really hard to self-care in winter. You're frozen again. You're there. So I was just talking about wintergreen and how that's going to help me with my aches and pains in winter. Oh,
Okay. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you now.
Jess has dropped out. Oh, gosh.
I'm still here on my screen.
Okay, you keep talking.
I don't know what to say
yeah, can
now.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
No,
you.
you're frozen.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, all right, that's good. Sorry. Oh, thank you for those people who are still with us. So
that's it.
Now
There's
somebody
been a
here said,
which is sorry.
That's okay. We're having a lot of trouble here. Robin Wright says she uses abundance and white angelica as her perfumes. Beautiful combo. Absolutely fantastic. Two oils to use. White angelica. Oh, so everything's, which is a really protective oil. So if you are feeling vulnerable and you've got to go out in public and you don't feel to go to, or something that you are feeling, that you need protection, you're feeling fragile, white angelica is a beautiful shoulders, and I like to visualize a beautiful angel that I can feel protected and nourished.
It's a very, very beautiful one, the white angelica. I like to use the Lady Sclarol as one of my perfumes. I'm just trying to look up what is in white angelica, because I think it's a blend of. So in white angelica is sweet almond oil, bergamot, myrrh, geranium, sacred sandalwood, ylang ylang, coriander, black spruce, melissa, hyssop, and rose. What a beautiful blend. Increases and strengthens the aura around the body to bring a unique sense of strength and protection. Creating a feeling of wholeness in the realm of one's own spirituality. Its frequency neutralizes negative energy and gives a feeling of security. Amazing. It's one to have in your little toolkit.
Have. So I'm that we might round this up. This must be very frustrating for people who are actually listening. So I'd like to say
Thank you. Thank you very much for listening. There is a lot of sunspot activity, so
get back
that
to
havoc.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, and you do not have an account with Young Living and you would like, go.
Yep. Frozen again.
There seems
I
to be
think we should
delay.
just go. If you're interested in oils, connect with Kay or me, and we'll have a chat.
Reach out and say, contact one of us and come and have a chat. Come and join our group, Kay's Essential Oil Wisdom, on Facebook. My website is there, www.khamilton.com. I'm going to say goodbye with oil. Make sure that you look after your health and vitality. And we look forward to anyone who would like to connect with us to have a further conversation. From my house,
absolutely.
It's bye from me.
See you later. Thank you.
Our pleasure. Rob.